Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you from the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2025.
Saving you if the game decides to give you a red Gorilla right out the gate. This will be fantastic. So, what are we going to start on? The answer is... Oh, this looks like River? This is Magic Container Cave. Alright, so both runners running into a red Dara here in Magic Container Cave. Malchior taking the up A. As Malchior takes the up A, Patrick tries to get through. Malchior is going to go check out what's at Bagu's house. Bagu is holding the cross. Looks like Patrick is going to lure out the Dara. Oh, has ends up taking the hit there, but is going to be able to get some good hits in. Malchior in the desert encounter with some bubbles, but that's a game over for Patrick. That Magic Container Cave is not going to be anyone's friend today. Now Patrick is going to go get the cross off of the... whatchamacallit? The Bagu's house, as Malchior is going to go through Fairy Cave the back way. Unfortunately, these dark rooms make it a little bit tough to see what the enemies are before you get there, but it looks like you are going to have to go through this cave unless Magic Container Cave contains the boots, which would just be terrible. Yep.
Yeah, you want them
sometimes you just got to take time, do the combat.
Oh, sorry?
Nope.
About to say we want to make them work to get off this island.
Oh, and of course there's a red Dara. Because why wouldn't there be? So
I rolled a mean seed.
So the question is, when do you actually just grind levels? Like, legitimately, when do you just go grind levels to have some ability to survive? Is Patrick
I think
now
Malchior is going to do that.
Patrick now finds the bad news that, yes, it is in fact... Oh, wait, there's a Gorilla! Getting past the Dara is not enough. You have to get through the Gorilla also.
Yeah, I'd go for levels now.
Yeah. You can do this on Life 1 if you just get stupidly lucky. It's not worth it. Looks like Malchior is going to give it another try. Doesn't know about the Gorilla yet. Also, the grass tile encounter is bad. Because it's the desert. Oh, and that's the road! Wow, so you actually have to just go to this stupid little forest over here and grind in this. Oh, Malchior gets the Dara trapped in the corner. Oh, and gets it! Takes the life level. Honestly, I completely agree with taking the life level there. Attack 2 is bait. Now you get attack 2. But that's so good for Malchior to get through that. Now I'm just going to have to deal with this one Gorilla, which, thankfully, jump stabs through. And Malchior... Honestly, I might go to the palace and just obey.
You have to refill lives, definitely.
Could you like going ahead and killing this Iron Knuckle while you're here? If you can... Nope, never mind. Yeah, now I think he just refill. Yep. So it's P4 with 2 items. Looks like Malchior wants a little bit of XP, but unfortunately the Iron Knuckles are just not cooperative today. As Patrick now is about to get attack to 150 for the Iron Knuckle. Looks like that is going to be enough. Malchior not quite catching on that it's forced 50-50, so you end up rotating once Potion, once Iron Knuckle, but gonna go for some levels here. And this isn't a bad grind. This Iron Knuckle doesn't have a ton of HP, so I think you can get attack through here pretty quickly.
Yeah, 150 is not bad for Red Iron Knuckle.
Patrick is still grinding in this little bit of a forest over here. Looking for more levels to take on that Fairy Cave. But we're seeing both runners committing to an earlier grind than they might like. Although you can't really blame them because the way the seed is set up, you really don't want to have to do Fairy Cave more than once. Patrick's gonna go for the the Magic Container Cave here. See if Patrick can get through. See if this ends up being anything important. Malchior. Oh, trying to get
over there too.
Okay, well, at least Malchior still got a life. Patrick now sees the good news that red arrows are worth a metric ton. Let's see what we have in Magic Container Cave. It is going to be the boots! Well, that solves the need to go through Fairy Cave ever again. Malchior should get attack 3 here. But Patrick has just caught up in terms of the progression and is now ahead. As Patrick has the boots. And the magic key is in Saria, so we'll need the mirror. Malchior's going to elect to dig this palace for a little bit. Let's see what's at our mirror check. At the mirror check is the P bag. It's a 500 bag. It's particularly good. Malchior's making his way through the 3-bar room, or the 3-tile jump room, as I've come to call it. Force drop. Let's see if we can catch where the mirror is, because I did not catch it when Patrick was first coming in this way, although I might not have seen the hint yet.
It is in the east.
The east, okay. Malchior finds Karok very quickly. If only we had the reflect spell.
But not a guaranteed key of the drop for bosses, so even killing Karok wouldn't be a completed dungeon.
Not necessarily, no. And now Patrick's honestly just not only caught up, but has actually gained a little bit of a lead here now just by having those boots. Malchior is going to have to go get those later, and also cannot go north out of this Saria.
I think that's going to tell him that the boots are in Magic Container Cave.
Yep. So we find it is 2, 4, and 1 of 3, 6 here on the west. Looks like it's 3, 4, and 2. And we find a connector to Maze Island. Patrick not quite interested in Maze Island yet. Still has some exploration to do here on the west. We did briefly see the grass tile. Not grass tile. Not sure if Patrick saw it.
Our container has the same enemies as Jump Cave, so Patrick should know exactly what he's facing.
And finds a hammer. You know what they say? When all you have is a hammer, all problems look like boulders. Wait. Yeah, Malchior realizes he's gonna have to either go into Magic Container Cave or gamble on an item in P4 to get across Saria. It looks like the P4 gamble might be the choice Malchior makes here. As we find Raru contains... Once we talk with Base Lady's dad. Malchior gets denied the XP, and don't send me back home is what the old man says, receiving the spell. Malchior's going to go ahead and take life 4 here. And not going to take the magic level. That's a little interesting.
Especially with an up and A, that experience points just goes into the ether.
Yep. Looks like Bruto has a heart container. And Malchior is now going to go for Magic Container Cave on 314. This will catch Malchior up pretty quickly. Patrick will still be ahead in the overworld exploration, but if Malchior can get through this Dara, does not on that attempt. And the trophy is in P4!
The late hint.
Malchior gonna go ahead and take the magic level now. Needs to be a little careful here. Cannot die on the way to the boots! There we go. And we are seeing what looks like, Patrick has found Medicine Cave. I believe Malchior is handling dad percent.
Completely understand that one. Having kids myself.
Yes. While I don't personally have children, I will never give anybody flack for doing dad percent in the middle of a race, because that is way more important. Oh, Magments in the dark are just terrible. Look at that life refill.
That 1 bar of refill.
It's
from
1
life?
bar.
No, you're not getting out of this one easy, Patrick.
No. First the Magic Container Cave with the Dara, now the magic for life is just terrible. Like, it's not even a 1-to-1. At least in a 1-to-1, you don't feel terrible about it, but... Because, like, 1-to-1 is basically vanilla, but this is, like, right now, 5-to-1 or some garbage. Looks like Malchior is back. Here we go. And with those boots in hand, Malchior is going to start digging all these caves that he couldn't before. You see a bridge. That's particularly important. Malchior is going to elect to go through Jump Cave? Wait. Medicine Cave has the fire spell. We don't know what it's linked to. It's too expensive.
Well, I didn't see if Patrick swung his sword after casting life, so I don't know if it's linked to that or not.
It is not. Patrick did swing his sword a couple of times, I think, trying to kill the Magmet. But, yeah, life spell is pretty bad. Patrick now finds the other end of Fairy Cave.
And it looked like from Malchior's screen, Bridge went to Death Mountain.
Yes. Here's Trophy Cave. Doing this in the dark is a little scary, but not impossible.
Unless there's a Moa.
Well, you know. I don't mean Moa. Oh, well, there we go. I guess there's no Moa now, because it's dead. This is fantastic. And we get a plunger. Oh, it's a Magmet in the dark. Patrick gonna maybe poke around Death Mountain a little bit, given that Patrick does have the hammer, but not really good access. going to elect not to do that right now. Let's check out what's at the King's Tomb. Hint, it is no hint for you. We have not seen a path to the east yet, so it could be the raft tile, which is also on the west. It could also be some stupid Death Mountain cave.
Yeah, we didn't see all of Maze Island, so it could be hiding there as well.
Yes. But I'm a little... Well, I guess not going to get the items in Maze Island is fine if you don't have Downstab, because Downstab just makes Maze Island way better. Malchior is now going to enter Heart Container Cave, but first is going to go to the town, and I like this. Get your refills. Get yourself back in good shape before attacking the cave. Now Patrick will find Trophy Cave. Oh, he gets a 500 bag for the effort. It's going to go ahead and take a magic level here. Taking 2 magic levels, okay. Going all the way to Magic 4. But now can cast fire in its jump. That is particularly important, actually. Because that is downstab access. And as we know, downstab is the best item in the game. Malchior is now going to go ahead and tackle Heart Cave. I don't know if we've seen where Mito is. Presumably we have at this point.
If not, we should find it. No hidden towns in the west.
Man, wouldn't that be something? We can have a hidden town in the west. Oh, and there we go. There's our east. It's a connector cave on the west. Here's Gerunia. Has the P-Bag. But also has upstab, so that's worthwhile to get. And this kid. Asking who you were expecting. And I'm gonna be honest, if I walk into a town and see a little kid... Oh, Patrick never saw this grass tile. This is important. After this encounter. Patrick gets the clip up onto the roof, and it's a jar! We like jars. 10th enemy has the bomb. This isn't Zelda 1. Here's Maze Island for Mal. Looks like Mal's not quite interested in Maze Island at the moment. I'm gonna go check out what this palace is. Stuck in an encounter anyway. Does not go for the Link Doll, now goes for the Link Doll. In a maze lies the fairy spell.
Okay, so which way do you want to go? Do you want to go east and get the key, get the mirror to get the key, or do you want to go into Maze Island to get the fairy spell?
If it's me playing, I say go find Downstab, then go to Maze Island and get the fairy spell. And the reason I say fairy spell is there's a couple of rooms that need the fairy spell, and you might just find the key, or rather the mirror, on the way on the east. But I think I go for the fairy spell at Maze Island.
I agree with you on that one. Just having a look at how. So we could get to all the items in the east, but that's still a lot of territory to cover.
Yeah, but one benefit is there is a desert trial right here. The medicine. That's That's kind of convenient. You walk into the east, you get your medicine. Now you can get everything out of Mito in one fell swoop. If we ever find it. And there's the grass tile. Patrick will now go get the jar. Jar! Malchior's going to use one of his keys that he got as a drop. And that might be the other thing influencing Malchior's decision to go ahead and do P2, is keys are in the drop pool.
So I have to think how much time it took to get to the boots. He's got to feel behind.
Yeah. Shield spell in P2 is not bad, though. Probably going to skip it on lack of keys, but knowing that that's there, you can decide if you care about it or not. I don't think Mal has the keys to get shield. So Mal's probably going to go shieldless. And beautiful fairy timing. Mito has been found for Patrick. This will lead to a down stab. Death Mountain holds the magic container. If you care about jars, Death Mountain's the play for you.
Hey, it could come up with something in Granny's basement.
If Granny's basement has the glove, and it's 7 jars. There's a college for downstabs? Oh, actually, that makes sense. I mean, swordsman schools are a thing, so I could totally see going to college to learn how to downstab. Teabag cape for Patrick. Oh, that's a big chunk of health from Malchior. Thankfully, does not die from it. Oh, and gotta be careful. You don't want to get Moa dripped on, and you don't want to get Mago jumped, and you don't want to get Tinsu jumped. And we find Helmet Head. And Mal's gotta be hoping that Helmet Head drops 300 XP at this point for the level, but you're not guaranteed a key off of this boss. Patrick is trying to find his way back to the other continents. I think in particular Maze Island is what Patrick is looking for. Good job by Malchior on this Helmet Head fight. Helmet Head goes down. Oh, and Malchior's 10 XP short, gonna get it off of the back of the P-Bag drop, but I don't believe Malchior has any keys. He does not. Gonna have to go find a key. At the same time, Patrick is now looking for the connector to Maze Island. Malchior has found Mito, knows that it's the jump spell, but does not have access to downstab because he doesn't have fire. And now Patrick is headed to Maze Island, looking for the items, one of which is the fairy spell. We don't know what the other is. This is kind of rough for Malchior at this point. Yes, Malchior has attack 4, but the exploration advantage on Patrick's side is just huge. Combined with Patrick isn't going to have to double dip P2. Looks like these steel Octoroks are the stationary ones. Mal is now going to find one of 3-6. Says, no thanks, I'm good. And a lot of encounters to get into this Maze Island. It's a good thing we have downstab.
Little surprised that we're not hanging along the river since we do with the boots.
Patrick's probably looking for the items. Because Patrick does have the hint of the fairy spells here somewhere on Maze Island. So I might be thinking, you know what, I gotta look at all the tiles until I find the item, so I might as well go look at all the tiles. But I guess you could start Riverside and then come double back for this upper side. When Malchior finds the fairy spell here, he's probably going to be a little bit unhappy. Or maybe very happy. Immediately go get down stab and then just go start doing stuff. Here's one item. That's a fairy spell. Here's the other item. That's a heart. Got a half heart. Fairy's castable. That's important. So you find P5 with one item here on Maze Island. And now we're going to get a little bit of a high five from these two as they're both in the same part of Maze Island at the same time. Both about to find the other item. That is a fairy spell for Patrick, and this will be a heart for Malchior. And Patrick is going to see that this is P5, thinking about it a little bit. Going to say no for now.
I think you could go either way with that one.
Yeah. Looks like the raft tile is going to lead to Maze Island, and Mal's also going to up A. Now this, I think Mal will probably go get down stab here. But Mal might also decide to just finish out the west. Because outside of a glove block, well, okay, we need Reflect. But if Reflect is in P3 or something stupid. Ooh, we're going to see a Death Mountain play. Maybe.
I think maybe just seeing if you can grab a quick Hammer Cave or Spec Rock. Nope, going in.
As Patrick finds here on the east, one of our P-Bag caves is the Thunder Spell. It looks like this is Sunken Cave will have the Thunder Spell today. I'm a little shocked Malchior's doing this before going to get down stab, just because, you know, it's down stab. And I'm a proponent of go get down stab as soon as you can. Oh no, this could be Hammer Cave. No.
No, I think this is the Caldera.
It's a Caldera DM, that's really interesting. 7 jars for Granny. $7 jars for Granny Cheapskate. We are going to get to see Spell Tower here. Patrick not going to get the spell item, which tells me, even though I didn't see what it is, it's probably like a heart or something. And inside of Spell Tower is the item known as the Raft.
Well, at least it makes it easier to know where to go to get back to Maze Island.
Oh, there's the Hammer Cave. Malchior has found the Hammer Cave, but not going in yet?
Might be looking for Spec Rock first and then come back to finish off at Hammer Cave.
That could be. Especially given Malchior does not have nearly the same amount of spells coming into this, nor the down stab. See what Malchior is able to do. It's another Guria, followed by an Octorok. And, oh, there's nothing there! There's nothing! Seeing more of the east here from Patrick. It's good. Patrick's just gonna go dig this. Now Malchior is going to go into Hammer Cave. There's a Geralt arm there. Mal's on one life. Sorry, go ahead.
Those are hard to see in the dark. You just end up running into them and going, what am I running into? I don't see any feet on the ground.
Oh, this is bad. Malchior is on one-hit knockout. Does not have a life spell, does not have a jump. You can see he's just carefully taking his time, stabbing at the feet constantly, trying to see where the enemy is.
I wonder if he knows of the despawn trick in the next room. If you enter the room, then leave, and then go back in again, it despawns that first enemy.
Looks like the answer is no. Oh, and that's a game over in Death Mountain. As Patrick finds desert, whatever this is. Gonna cast the Thunder spell, gets 300 off of the Lizalfos, and gets another 1,000 off of the 2 blues! Man, that is a grind spot. If there was a town nearby, and you could distinguish it from the other desert tiles, that's a grind spot. Now we're gonna see what's in Nabaru. It is a blue jar, so we're not gonna get the spell. We're just gonna go get the fountain item, maybe refill magic and life, and leave. Malchior is now stuck on the long bridge. Let's see what's in the fountain here. Barbas lives the water, so we know we don't have to dig all the items out of 6. And I believe that was the letter?
Yeah, that was Bagu's note.
Now we can go show that to the rubber band. Malchior has not seen 2 keys on the west yet, so still looking for those. We know at this point that he's got to go to the east.
Well, it does have the fairy spell, so can go into palaces.
Here is our water tile, and that's Reflect! All we need now is a glove, and we're go mode on Patrick's side. And here is Palace 6. No, this has to be Palace 3. Which means 6 is on the west.
No. Both, they can have as minimal as 0 items in a palace, so that still could be Palace 6.
It cannot be Palace 6 because we got a hint that the water is in Palace 6.
You're correct.
So there must be an item there.
Yep. You're right.
And I couldn't tell what that was. Malchior is going to find the life spell and be horrendously disappointed when he uses it and sees that it's 1 bar. Looks like heart container. Thank you, Jet.
Yep. Which, funny enough, got the correct message from the wizard as a Captain Planet reference.
Malchior has found the east. Malchior has found the medicine. That might spur Malchior to go back and get Mito. Honestly, if you're Mal, the best case scenario here is that Glove is actually just in Hammer Cave and you know how to get to it. But now does Malchior remember where Mito is? Patrick gonna go ahead and take Magic 5. Doesn't really lower the cast of Thunder, but it lowers everything else. And gonna up A. This might be Patrick starting to go. In fact, not only is GP in the east, GP is in Valley of Death. Down stab for Mal. But this is going to be a heck of a climb for Mal. Again, the best case scenario for him is that Hammer Cave is just the glove. And drop. Right into the boss room. And Mal's going to go back into P2 and finish this off. Might pick up the shield spell on the way, but at the very least is going to say, okay, I can at least get the gem out of here. So we see a pitched battle between Karok and Patrick. Patrick restores the 1 bar of health. We'll see if it's enough. It is. Karok goes down. 700 XP plus the 200 from that gets Patrick a double level out of this palace. Now, we'll see if Patrick goes back for items or not.
I think so, with how important the glove is.
Yeah. Not sure you can afford to just not go back. There it is, yep. Patrick's going back. Not quite going for the YOLO gamble, and honestly, I would do the same thing. Malchior is also in good shape to get a double level here out of P2, especially if Malchior decides to go for the shield spell, which I think I pick up here.
Yeah, with only 1 hard container life, you definitely go shield.
Malchior is now going to see the 1 heart container life. Be very unhappy. But does get down the blue Iron Knuckle. We have a Fairy Glove block here. P4. Leading to another glove blocked room. Thankfully, you can go to the left. And that's going to be enough XP for Mal to get a double level if he so chooses. He's going to elect, I think, instead for attack 5. Which is not the worst choice in the world to make, if I'm being honest.
And I think that's why he skipped over that magic level early, was trying to kind of set up for power leveling. Patrick was going for the statue. Unfortunately, it was on the IK side of 50-50.
Yep. I'll get Mal up to 820. Needs 70 more XP before picking up this gem. Looks like there's quite a bit of ways to walk to get back to where Helmet Head is. There's the XP. Mal is now set up as we find the trophy in Palace 4. Now, while we did know that was there, we didn't know it was in that specific room. Gonna use the fairy spell, and that will be Malchior's first gem. So if Mal can complete the West without a glove, Mal might not be as far behind as things might seem at first. He still has to do a lot of exploration. And that candle is the other item.
The problem is that Reflect is in the east, so he's going to have to go east, then come back west again.
Yep. It looks like he's going to head east now. Patrick is going to go into P6. You know, one item here is not worthwhile. The other one, however, might be. Saves a cube by going up and around. But we'll need a key here. Oh, and it's just a red jar! So red jar and water for a blue jar. Objectively, garbage items here in 6. Two items of P1, Malchior is going to go ahead and jump in. Oh, but it's immediately glove blocked. You cannot do anything. So that tells us glove is not in P1. Yeah, there's that one container life spell. We have yet to see another item in this. Oh, we have yet to see Barba really in this P6. Malchior now sees you're gonna have to go say hi to Tim the Toolman's neighbor. Maybe go to this cave though. Or you could go through the desert encounters. But this has the Thunder Spell for Malchior, so this is definitely gonna be something that he wants and needs. Thunder Spell picked up for Malchior. It is castable. Well, actually, I don't know if it's castable on Magic 3. I think Patrick had 4 when he got here. There's the water. As opposed to the water of life, which is needed for the kid in Mito, that's just generic water. Hello. Looks like it is New Casito is our block town with a magic container. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting then. Because didn't Patrick skip the spell item?
No, he didn't make it.
Okay.
The reason why he's at 6 magic versus Mal's 5.
Okay, gotcha.
He walked by it knowing it was a magic container. Got it on the way back because that's a free magic refill as well.
Yep. Malchior is going to get it on the way in. Jar! Now Patrick gets to enjoy the experience that is this P2.
Also, let me bring something up. And it's 7 jars to get into Granny's basement.
Oh. I see where this is going. I like it.
Plus, we've seen a glove-blocked palace, so there's possibility that the 8th jar is behind that glove block.
Yep. That's fantastic. I would like to see Malchior go back to Death Mountain, actually, just because Malchior knows the path to the Hammer Cave. Patrick is going to see the shield spell on the way here. And may just elect to go ahead and pick it up. Also, the bee. You know, I'm going to be honest, if I saw a bee that was half the size of a person dropping boulders, I'd probably just run away terrified.
I mean, that's pretty much what we do here.
Right, shield spell 4. Patrick, as Malchior, is going to say hi to Tentacle Man's neighbor. Although I want to know what Tentacle Man did to make his neighbors want to start throwing rocks. Patrick is now going to go up the elevator and see that it's a dead end. There's a boulder block cave. So this is the cave that has the mirror. So Mal could get the any key next time he goes back west if he so chooses, assuming he survives it. Patrick's about to find Helmet Head.
That will be one advantage Mal will have over Patrick, because I don't think Patrick's going to go back for that any key. But he did pick up the mirror, though, correct?
Yes, he has it. Well, no, he doesn't have it marked on his tracker. He never got it. I don't think he's seen this cave.
Okay, because that would, like I said, that would give Mal a little bit of an advantage to not have to worry about casting Fairy to get through doors.
And if I remember correctly, there is exactly one room in GP that is hard key blocked.
That's correct.
So if you run into that room and you're Patrick, and you gotta go get a key. And here we go, Patrick to P5. Thundercastable on Magic 3. Oh, is Malchior's trapped and has to go back out and around? No, you can go through this passage. This is fine. Patrick finding a dead end at the end of the drop. Finds the P-bag also. Gonna probably skip that. But likes to walk in on the lower side of the room. Finds a 4-way. Here is... let's see. Looks like not a whole lot coming out of this 4-way, just a bunch of lefts. Mal is now on the other side, is going to see the palace here. This will be Palace 3. Malchior will take the FA, but no need to do the palace right now. Is going to find the water tile. Looks like we have a quick Goomba here in P5, but no gloves still. Reflect for Malchior. That is exactly what he wanted to see, actually. I'm pretty sure. finds old Casino. Sees that it's a heart container. We'll go ahead and pick it up. As Guma nearly down for Patrick. Don't accidentally cast Fairy. That would be bad. Guma goes down. Drops a whopping 500 XP with another 200 to boot. Able to cast Fairy to get through the door. Malchior now at P3. Gonna go ahead and go in and place the gem. I don't dislike this play right now because you're already here. If you're planning on upping anyway, you might as well place the gem. We know there's no item to be had here, but...
Nope, in and out.
In and out. This is pretty good. This is a good P3. Also, Rebo's Hobby Horse has lower HP. Unfortunately, Malchior doesn't quite get the right position. But Malchior should be fine here. Yeah. And item here in P5 for Patrick, it's a heart. And that is both items in P5. I missed what the second one was.
Nope, it's just one item in P5.
Ah, well, that would explain why I missed what the second one was. And Malchior likes to take the level, not going for the power leveling at this point, stopping at attack 5. And now, we're seeing Patrick heading to Death Mountain. Last town that Malchior needed. Well done. Yep, gonna go check the fountain. Almost forgot.
I don't know if we saw how many items were in P1. It might just end up being that's all that's left for Patrick. Because there's no items in 3. He knows one of the items in 6.
Yeah. So if it's not... Yeah, it almost has to be. Actually, just looking at Patrick's tracker, it has to be DM, and we know one of the 2 items there is a magic container. So it could also just be Granny. Malchior has now up aid, might be headed back to P4 or Death Mountain himself. He does have the path to Hammer Cave. But I don't see either runner leaving this DM without both items, unless the glove is found first. Malchior is going to go ahead and get the magic key. Now, imagine the runner's reaction if you get the 7th jar, you go immediately to Granny, and it's just the 8th jar.
Yeah, but if that was the case, what do we have left?
The rock. At that point, you're gambling it's not Spectacular Rock.
I think if it's not here, you go for Spec Rock first.
You kind of have to. Malchior is going to now dig P4. We know this will not be the answer. Okay, let's see. Remember, Malchior took a game over in this room, and it's the 7th jar! It's the 7th jar. Off to Spectacular Rock with us. Now, the Galaxy Brain player here for Mal, so just go to DM.
But even then, he's still going to be behind.
Yeah, but he won't be as behind as eking out a P4 would put him. Garrock down for Malchior. Patrick's out of Hammer Cave. 8 XP short of a double level. Malchior is going to go back and at least try to get the double level. Potentially also just grab the items. Fighting his way through Death Mountain now. There is Magic 5 for Mal. Malchior did not need to cast Fairy to get through that door. Both runners now on 3 gems. But Patrick in the significantly better position, item-wise. There's the rock. On the other side of DM. And the rock has the glove!
Okay, now I don't feel as bad for game over in Hammer Cave.
Yeah, me neither. But, oh, that is a far, far rock to get to. I guess you could say in this case it was indeed a spectacular rock. Patrick can go ahead and do 6. Still does not have the any key.
Oh, but with the glove, it's pretty much go mode from here.
Yep. Ironically, the best thing that can happen for Mal at this point is just the one key door in GP that's required shows up. And on the path to Thunderbird or Darklink. Remember, Patrick doesn't have the mirror. So Patrick would have to go get the mirror and then come back to get the N key and then go back to GP. So that's kind of what you want to see if you're on Team Malchior. Now, Patrick has seen a little bit of this P6 already. We'll see how long it takes for him to get to the end. Doesn't want to cast Fairy necessarily, would rather do this with Jump. And that's the second item in 4 for Malchior, gonna have to go back to Death Mountain. Oh, except Malchior doesn't know that the water's in 6. He's gonna go check 6 first. Which, man, you have to get the gem out of here anyway.
And even knowing the water's in here, it's 2 items, so he doesn't know the other item either, so...
Yep.
But putting off the end of the be the base and take a P5.
I'm not sure if you go to P5. Well, okay, so P5 is. Then you have to play the game of, okay, is the opportunity cost on digging 5 higher than Death Mountain? Because Death Mountain at that point is 2 items to P5's 1. Oh, 6's glove blocked to Barba. Oh, that's really bad for Mal. Looks like 6's, yeah, this room. Oh, going into the ragu! Who wants Deep Fried Link? This room was just bad. And the worst part is, this is a vanilla room. So you can't even blame the, like, room creators for that one. That one just exists. And Malchior headed back to the start of P6. Patrick gonna have to ferry through that door again. I say again, for the first time. Now, if none of this leads to Barba, that'll be something. Oh, wait, no, hold on. We got Barba. Barba's confirmed glove blocked, folks. It's bad news for Mal. Not gonna be able to finish out this P6 due to the glove. And with that, Barba goes down, 1,200 XP for Patrick, but not going to go back for the rest of the 800 needed. And here Malchior is going to see the bad news that yes, indeed, you are glove blocked out of 6. Patrick now on Magic 7. Gotta head back to the maze. No, already done maze on. Gotta head back to the east. And back on the east, it is time to go into P1. P1 does have 2 items. Neither of which are likely to be consequential at this point. Best Patrick could hope for is Jar 8.
Yeah, we just got Magic Container Jar, or Container Jar. I don't know if we got a hint where the kid was at.
I don't think we did. But I'm also not convinced either runner particularly is going to go out of their way for the kid. Get a bunch of falls into the ship room. Like you're gonna go ahead and cast the Painful Life spell. There is the water. And there's the glove block. Back to DM for Malchior. There's nowhere else to go. Malchior is going back into 2. He saw both items. He's placed the gem. he saw both items. We of course head here for Patrick. That will be gem 5 for Patrick. Just has to go and place the gem in P3, which was pretty quick. And as Mal redigs too, I'm guessing, looking at Mal's tracker, he's only marked one item. But there's the second item. It's the Link doll.
Yeah, which he should have seen but passed over.
Yep, and now Mal is leaving P2. Get a fairy feet out of a long bridge, but needs to get back to DM. Gonna go to 5 before going back to DM.
Yep. Like I said,
Yep.
you've got to place the gem. Might as well go through it just to see if you get an item on the way.
We know 5 is not glove blocked. Here's P3 for Patrick.
Which we know is a short one, so he'll be in GP soon.
Yep. So short, in fact, here's the boss. Blink and you'll miss it. Looks like Patrick's going to go in at 677, which is pretty normal. So again, if you're on Team Malchior, you need the one hard key block room in DP to show up. And even then, it's still an uphill battle. But doable. I would not say this is completely over yet. Free red jar to start off your Valley of Death journey. Immediate encounter to boot. Here's Guma for Mal. Patrick is able to fairy feet across the encounters and is now going to head into GP. After a quick little fight with the Lizalfos, and doesn't even get the XP, just gets a blue jar. Here we go, GP entry at 109.30. 33 if you want to count it by the barrier. There's a free fairy and an immediate drop. Patrick's going to take the drop, gets in an elevator room. Immediately leads to some kind of waffle room, and also immediately leads to that room, which is just a death trap. So we're going to go through this waffle-ish room. An immediate T-Bird! The immediate T-Bird in GP.
Would not be surprised to see an up and A after beating T-Bird.
Yeah. Malchior is going to find the item here in P5. And it's going to see just the heart. And now knows he's got to go back to Death Mountain. Malchior is now looking for the second item in Maze Island. It looks like on his tracker he did not mark it. Gonna take the raft back to the west. Actually, this will get him closer to the Death Mountain Bridge, which might be what he's going for. Extra life here for Patrick.
Now double checking everything before going back to Death Mountain.
Yeah. Assuming he remembers where the bridge is. A dead-end room here for Patrick on that right. There's the bridge. I expect we will see Hammer Cave first. What is it with the bots in here that they just have like a 15 gajillion health or so? Hammer Cave up first. Let's see. Al should go for Spec Rock after this, but if he doesn't, that'll be a big problem. Especially given the window is already incredibly small and likely does not exist. The room from P3. Never mind. Looks like the room from P3. Anyway, it's an elevator. Patrick kind of elects not to take the life. Malchior is going to find Magic Container 7. Oh, and he's going to New Kasuto! I think. He left.
Yeah, you'd have to be.
Oh, this is gonna be so painful.
Yep, he's heading into Kasuto.
He's gonna go straight to New Kasuto and find that that's not the answer, and then has to go back to Death Mountain. And that, to me, has closed the window for Malchior. What is Granny holding in the basement? Granny is holding in the basement. The kid! The kid is in the basement! Alright, hold on. We might have a problem here. Malchior's back in Death Mountain, now looking for the rock. Oh, but Patrick is still looking for Dark Link.
Yeah, this GP has been very linear.
And Malchior's got to get over to that other side of the end. I don't remember how Patrick got there. Oh, but here is Dark Link. No key required. 8 quick stabs from Patrick, and Patrick will be... And everybody, please get your GGs in chat for Patrick finishing with a time of 1:16:06. And we are now joined, it sounds like, by Patrick. GG's, and congrats on the win.
Hey, thank you.
So what this seed came down to really was Malchior dug a couple of palaces early without fairy or any key. And by a couple, I mean palace 2. And also has not found the glove yet. Both of you went to DM as your last possible locations for the glove. The main benefit you had was you had more exploration done by the time you realized it was DM. So that allowed you to get the glove sooner.
That makes sense. Yeah, that was a ugly location for the glove. Seems like one of the 5.100% seeds for sure.
The other big difference was Malchior got the loot significantly later than you did, although he was able to get through that fairy cave.
Yeah, I was wondering how he'd handle that. I know he's a little bit newer at Z2, and yeah, those two caves were not friendly either.
So he was able to get the Dara stuck against a wall and was able to just kill it, and that 200 XP gave him both attack and life 2 in that cave, allowing him to get through.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I wasn't happy having to grind a little bit, but that felt like a safer option, so fortunately it worked out.
To be fair, the game gave you like 2 spots you could grind at.
Oh, I think it was just one.
So like, grinding was even difficult to do.
Yeah, just kind of a rough seed, but straightforward once you kind of narrowed down where the glove was, I guess.
Yep. I did throw out the possibility that we were going to see the one room in GP that requires a key, and then you wouldn't have a key, and Malchior had to get a key, but that did not happen.
I had already had such a horrible start. I'm like, I gotta do dumb things. This feels dumb enough.
I mean, to be fair, had the hammer cave just had the hammer. Sorry, not the hammer, the glove. This could be very different.
Yeah. Wait, I need to go to P6 first. I'll probably about to cut it off, but GG's Patrick. This seed.
You too.
Lordy, this seed. That opening wrecked me. I spent probably 5 minutes farming on the catch-up nights outside of Palace 4.
Yeah, we were talking about that before you joined in, and yeah, I didn't even try. I tried the caves once, and then just found like the 2 forest tiles where I could grind on bats.
Oh, forest tiles, nice, cool. I didn't find those.
Oh, it was a slow grind.
Yeah. And my decision felt good until I went into Saria and saw a 500-point bag. I'm like, oh no.
And you still had to go and get the boots anyway.
Yep. And that Caldera DM confused the heck out of me all the way till the very end.
Yeah, they very often are. Like, they're kind of segmented like they were, and yeah.
I just haven't seen a Caldera DM in a long time. And so I'm like, what? The one cave that went off to nowhere just took you to like a little 6-tile dead end. I'm like, I hate Islands biome with a passion.
Yeah, I lost the Maze Island connector for a minute there. Yeah, I don't know what to say. We've got our next race tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so...
You'll probably destroy me then, too.
Yeah, this should be a good one still, I hope. But good game again.
Do something really stupid and hope it works.
That's what I was doing. I was banking on stupidity.
If the glove was in Hammer Cave and Malchior gotten through it, this would be a very close race.
If the Glum was in P5, did you ever dig out P5?
I did.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, I was last location on the glove, or
I was
like,
pretty
aside
much
from
last
things-
location. I never found Pillar's Cave. I have no idea where it is.
I found it. I don't remember where or what was in it, but
The
Nothing.
trend of me overlooking one cave on the west continues.
To be fair, Patrick missed the grass tile for a good bit.
That there was nothing there. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's still a cave missed.
islands are hard.
Islands
and
are
shorter.
hard. Mostly just to keep your head of like where everything is.
Yeah, this one was especially like there were a lot of little islands with one cave and just keeping track of which was which. Ugh. I'm glad we're done with that one.
For real. I'm gonna go punch a snake in the face and then I'll probably be done. After my double dip of 2, I'm like, well, I'm already behind. So the only way I win is I do something stupid and it has an item. So I'm gonna just keep doing stupid things. Like right now, what I'm doing is very stupid. Oh yeah, there we go. But yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm like, why isn't he done yet? I thought for certain I would end this like with only 2 crystals put in, with how horrible my start was going.
I mean, when one person has a horrible start, it's usually both. I find that was, yeah, just one of the seeds where it's hard start, hard to finish it out. I don't know what to say beyond that.
Also, this
Um,
room is terrible.
This room is the worst room in the game, always. Like
Yep.
Oh,
so
it's
much.
the pit room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worst room in the game, always.
Yeah.
I'm
And the
about
worst part
to
is, it's a vanilla room, so you can't even blame the custom rooms.
just saved it barely. I'm about to. I hope I still have enough for some thunder, because I'm about to let some thunder or some spells fly.
I recommend fire.
I don't have that. Never found it.
Oh, that must have been what was in the pillar cave. Then.
Pillars.
Yeah, fire was jump. So
Whoa. Spell is. Oh, I made it. Whee.
well, I'm gonna sign off. Good game again. Thanks for putting on the restream, guys. And like I said, tomorrow 8 o'clock we're doing this again.
Yep, we're doing this again. The same madness, hopefully with better biomes.
Better biomes and not red dares right out the gate.
Thanks for
That was-
the restream, guys.
I've had them in some trolley spots. That was probably the worst I've had in a while. Oh, kind of this seed was the worst I've had in a while. But then again, this is not my primary game.
Better biomes
Oh,
and not
time to
red
punch
dares right
a
out the gate.
dragon in the face.
Dragon time.
2, 3.
So as we watch Malchior go and punch a dragon in the face with a sharp, pointy object that is attached to his fist. So, I personally am a big fan of using jump because I never feel comfortable actually going for Barber without jump.
I started like that. And then I started getting pretty consistent on my 5 to 6 hits per cycle. And so I just stick with that now.
So, I personally am a big fan of using. Hey, look, you get 2 levels. I never feel comfortable actually going for Barber without jump.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I love it.
Alright. That's gonna be it for me. Thanks for everyone for hosting this. This was wild. I never
you get 2
really.
levels.
I had maybe a 1% chance against Patrick. but I got further than I thought I would. So we'll see how game 2 works.
I do want to say thank you for joining us here in the booth for the post-game chat. And GG's to you again.
Thank you very much.
If possible, follow the runners, BK, PKT, Patrick, and Malchior. Also want to thank you to Gigi, doing all the clicking in the background, makes us look good. And definitely thank you to Alsoa for joining me in the commentary booth and doing most of the commentating. I had to run around and do some stuff, and my internet being horrible, so thank you very much for jumping in. Also want to thank
and a big thank you to BT Slacker for joining in also.
Yeah, speaking of running around, that 1 minute y'all saw me just sitting in the starting palace. My son demanded to have a night-night lullaby, so I had to stand up.
And a big thank you to BT Slacker for joining in also.
Dad life
We just
always
figured
comes
it was
first.
Dad percent and said, okay, this is fine.
It was Dad percent, correct.
Look, Dad percent always takes priority.
Yep. All right, I'll stop interrupting. Y'all have a good evening.
You do.
You too, and definitely thank you everybody for watching, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Sometime we have a bunch of races scheduled, so pretty sure one of them is going to be on ZSR or somewhere. We'll figure it out. Definitely pay attention to the Discord for that. I'm going to send y'all over to Golden Girl 8355, who's doing a all keys run of Zelda 2. So go on and have fun watching that. And we will see you next time.
See ya later.